1963, the most watched man alive had less than 6 seconds left to live. He didn't know it. Neither did the hundreds of people smiling and waving beside him. He was the most photographed man on Earth, tanned, smiling, radiating strength in every frame. The youngest president America had ever elected. A man the whole world called the picture of vigor. But behind that smile, John F. Kennedy was quietly dying, day after day, hidden under a cocktail of pills nobody knew he needed. How does a man hide that much pain while leading the free world? And how did the most watched man alive die within seconds, in broad daylight, in front of hundreds of witnesses, on a warm November afternoon in Dallas? To understand how it ended, you first have to understand how little of his life was ever what it seemed. He was born in 1917 in Brookline, Massachusetts, into a family that treated ambition like oxygen. His father, Joseph Kennedy, was a ruthless businessman who wanted one thing above all else: a Kennedy in the White House. But young John, nicknamed Jack, was not the son anyone expected to carry that dream. He was sickly from the start, in and out of hospitals with scarlet fever, colitis, and mysterious illnesses doctors couldn't explain. While his older brother Joe Jr. grew tall, athletic, and golden in their father's eyes, Jack spent long stretches of his childhood in bed, pale and thin, reading history books because his body wouldn't let him run outside. Nurses came and went, diagnoses changed by the season, and through all of it, a quiet lesson took root in him, one that would define the rest of his life: never let anyone see how much you're hurting. At Harvard, still fighting constant illness, he pushed through anyway, graduating with a thesis that would later become a best-selling book, proof that even then, he had a gift for turning private struggle into public achievement. Then came the war. In 1943, Lieutenant Kennedy commanded a small patrol boat, PT-109, in the Pacific. A Japanese destroyer sliced his boat in half in the dead of night. 2 men died instantly. Kennedy, despite a back injury that would haunt him for the rest of his life, swam for hours through burning water, towing a badly wounded crewman by gripping the strap of his life jacket in his teeth. He saved his men and came home a war hero. But the injury he carried home was never fully diagnosed, never fully treated. He would spend the rest of his life in a body quietly breaking down, one that the cameras were never allowed to see. Here's the part most people never learn about Kennedy. The war hero image, the healthy young statesman, none of it was the full picture. And what happened next would force him into a role he never asked for. In 1944, the plan the family had built around Joe Jr. collapsed. Joe, the chosen son, the one destined for politics, died when his bomber exploded on a secret wartime mission over the English Channel. The family's entire political dream, all of it, fell without warning onto the shoulders of a sickly younger brother who had never wanted the spotlight. Jack didn't have a choice anymore. Grieving and in constant pain, he ran for Congress in 1946, smiling through interviews while secretly needing help just to stand for long stretches. Nobody in the public knew that some mornings he couldn't get out of bed without assistance. He learned to perform strength as a daily disguise, and he wore that disguise so well that an entire nation would eventually hand him the most powerful office on earth without ever suspecting what it cost him to simply stand upright. If you want more stories like this, real stories of struggle, resilience, and the hidden battles behind history's most famous faces, subscribe to Graphy and join us on this journey. Every subscription, every comment, every share, helps us keep telling these stories the way they deserve to be told. So tell us, which historical figure's hidden struggle should we uncover next? Drop your suggestion in the comments below. We read every single one, and we might just tell their story next.